is way too much damage. Stop him with the block! He fell charge jump!
Oh, and he found
wow.
Wow.
Oh,
And he gets out!
Somewhere there's a covert muffin just applauding this scene.
Holy crap.
Oh man, this is gonna come down to execution in the final escape, isn't it?
Sure is.
Every scene
Our
does.
favorite phrase.
Hello and welcome back everyone to the 2021 Ori and the Blind Forest Randomizer Tournament. We're here in the in round 2 of the upper bracket, and my name is To Kill, and on commentary today I am joined by Apple Tree. Apple, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. I'm very excited to calm this match with you. It's going to be a match between Grem and Henry, a bit of a student versus teacher match, I suppose you could tell it. Grem has taught a lot of people tricks during her time playing the randomizer, me included. She especially likes taking controller players under her wing, which Henry, I suppose, used to be before he left us and joined the KBM crew. Grem, feels a bit betrayed by Henry in that case. But other than that, she's very excited for this seed as well. We're doing a wall-starved seed, so she's hoping for a very fast start, hoping for some power skills early. And other than that, she's just gonna, as she likes to say, press some buttons and see what happens in the randomizer. She doesn't really feel like she has any lead over Henry. Again, this is randomizer, anything can happen.
Yeah, and talking about Henry, just to give some context, the display name of Grem is purplekatchup, so if you ever feel confused, on the left we have Grem, and on the right we have Henry. As mentioned, Henry is definitely a newer player to the randomizer, has started playing with controller but switched to keyboard just because there are some advantages over that. And he has kind of teased that if we get grenade jumps, so a combination of 3 skills in the randomizer, he will definitely show off some tricks just for our stream. So I'm definitely excited to see that, and I'm sure the race will start soon. And as we get into the race, Apple, what are you hoping to see here?
As I mentioned earlier, this is wall-starved, so the chance that wall jump and climb will be found early in the seed are lowered. It can still happen. I hope for both these players that they don't. They chose this game mode for a reason. As we pop in and see the race starting in 3 seconds. I don't know. I think we've had a lot of charge jump seeds, so maybe not another one of those. Early dash would be amazing.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. Early dash is just always so nice. It speeds up the seeds by a lot, as you can just zoom over the entire map as you please, and it's also just so fun to watch Ori turn into a wind kind of to, and it's another charge jump start. This is kind of what we had throughout the entire preliminaries. It seems to be a common start. Obviously, charge jump just gives you a lot of verticality, lets you jump up very far, and just with that alone opens a lot of pickups that our runners will have to find in order to find some progression and be able to finish the game. For now, Graham on the left has a little lead just due to some minor things, and Henry on the right is right behind her as they pick up Sign, our trusty friend in Nebo.
Indeed. I do believe charge jump starts are Grem's favorite starts, so she'll be very happy with this as she alt-Rs and goes to check the pickup to the right of spawn. This is a go-to pickup that you will almost always see runners going for if you get charge jump. And now we'll be heading over to the left towards Glades. Let's see if... Oh, we already have enough keystones with that pickup. So we might actually be seeing some divergence here as Grem wanders down towards Blackroot Burrows, and Henry heads towards the Glades area.
Yeah, Graham had to stop for a second there to kill those spikes because she didn't have an ability point, and ability points are very crucial as they let you skip cutscenes like Graham just demonstrated on the left by abusing, well, basically a glitch in the save menu where the game where the game is tricked into thinking we already exited the save menu while we still have it open to basically save anywhere. Graham will make short process of this area. There isn't a lot of skills that speed up this Blackroot Burrows, but with Charge Jump as demonstrated here, she can just jump over most of the obstacles and will have no problem bringing the OP here to check this one pickup as Henry on the right is heading into Glades, finds more keystones, so can make his way further into that area, and we will see who of our runners will find the next piece of progression momentarily, probably, because both of our runners don't have too many pickups left here.
They can, of course, each swap the areas they're currently in. We will probably be seeing that unless Henry finds something new. Grem will most certainly, once she's finished with this area, be going in the same direction as Henry has. If Henry finds, say, Blue Breakage, he has possibilities of heading towards the Charge Flame Tree, or with the insane amount of keystones he's found already, he might go the slightly longer route and wander around Spirit Caverns and up to the Spirit Tree there, and so get to Charge Flame that way.
Yeah, both of our runners have actually found a lot of keystones in their respective areas that they are checking right now. Both are also basically, with only a few seconds of divergence, finding their first skill trees. Yeah, so the logic definitely implies to open that 4 keystone door, and I believe none of our runners have found any other progression there. So this is definitely for now the way to go. Apple, do you want to explain why the skill trees are important to us in the mode we are playing?
Yes, we've already mentioned that we're playing Wall Starved, but that's more of a secondary game mode. The main game mode we're playing is called Forced Trees. So there are 10 vanilla skill locations in the game, which most of them are trees. We have 1 feather, but we count it as a tree. And these, we have to visit these before we can enter the final escape. Ooh, and Henry finds double jump. That will be a sort of pseudo wall interaction for him sometimes, when charge jump doesn't give him enough height. Anyway, with the trees that we visit, every 3 trees we will find a clue to one of the dungeon keys. 2 of these we will absolutely need to find in the seed. One, runners mostly hope they don't need to find the Gumon seal, because it's an area without a tree, without anything very useful in trying to finish a seed quickly. But we shall see what those clues hold for us, and they will tell us where the area that the keys are in.
Yeah, definitely. We will see whether our runners decide to just hunt for the trees for more clues or check a lot of pickups on the way. And checking this pickup that has given troubles in other seeds, so he is making sure to not get randoed, meaning to not find that one piece that he needs. And purplekatchup, aka Graham on the left, has not found anything useful even in lower Blackroot burrows, as Henry on the right just collected his next skill, Stomp, a very useful ability, especially in combination with some other skills like Dash, that could become very useful. So Henry definitely has a skill lead at the moment. Both of our runners have to go to the area that the other one has been to already. Neither of them has found any way to break blue walls or similar things, so they definitely want to check for that, as Henry is skipping over that teleporter will now stomp that wall to get through it and check one more pickup. It's dash! Oh my god, that is huge for him. As mentioned, dash just allows you to traverse Nightville quicker, but it also has some neat upgrades that allow you to, well, basically use it in the air or basically use it as you want. So our runners will definitely try to get these abilities in the ability menu. As Henry is now heading into Blackroot Burrows, his Blackroot Burrows will be even quicker than Graham's was before. So definitely a heads-up play right here for him to check this after the Spirit Caverns.
Yes, indeed. He will have a bit of a time save here. Of course, Graham should be finding all these skills as well. I don't know if she'll immediately go and get her dash, but she'll definitely be finding Stomp and Double Jump, just simply with the path that the seed is pretty much forcing her to go on. So we'll see if she manages to find the dash. I sure hope she does. There's nothing quite like dash to speed up seeds, and she did wish for a quick one as she finishes her wall jump tree and should be heading up to Spirit Caverns now.
Yeah, and with that set of skills our runners have already acquired, this definitely looks like it could be a very quick seed. You have a lot of verticality, you have dash to get you through basically everything you need. This can just turn out to be very quick, as both of our runners, Graham on the left collected her second tree before Henry will do so in a minute. And as the next tree, we will get our first clue, and we'll see whether they need some other form of getting through the game, as there are some areas that either require glide to be a very good area, or that might have some pickups that are guarded behind a grenade activation, as Graham on the left now finds her double jump. I'm not sure what our runners think about that, because they both chose wall surf, and double jump is kind of a wall interaction. So we will see whether they feel how they feel about it, and whether they will use it as wall interaction later on. Henry on the right now collecting his dash tree and finds that the Sunstone is in Blackroot. There's a lot of grenade locked pickup in that area, so we will see whether it is actually behind such a barricade or not, as Henry is dropping down to get that XP, decides not to keep it. Well, it's just experience after all. And Graham on the left is making her way to the pickups that Henry has already collected.
Henry not going for the skip here. Usually we glitch this lever that Henry is racing time to beat to get through. We usually glitch this open, so it just stays open all the time with a handy trick, but he decides not to, so getting back will always require pulling the lever, which is a bit of a time investment, only a second or two, but it might play a role. I assume he's planning to clear as much as he can here. We know already from Graham's pickups that the Sunstone that we now know is somewhere in this area is not in these upper pickups, so he will have to go lower. He does have all the skills needed to at least reach some of them. Again, there are a lot of grenade pickups down there that might be the Sunstone. Oh no, and he's actually deciding to go up to Grotto first through this door that he opened by stomping the peg.
Yeah, and Graham on the left now has found her dash, so we now have a skill parity yet again. As Henry finds some more health, health definitely is a very valuable resource, especially considering the final escape. Finds the Sorrow teleporter. That is a convenient way to get to the left side, especially with the skills they have found so far. So you will be happy to see that. Well, one thing to mention is I think neither of them collected the plant above the dash tree, so that could still hold the sunstone. But besides that, yeah, it definitely is in the lower way. As Henry is heading to his next tree, seems to be kind of wanting to get his clues as soon as possible, as Graham is actually deciding to head to lower Blackroot Burrows. Could find the sandstone here. Any of these pickups could be what she's looking for, and it's the abilities CSL right next to the lasers, so she will definitely be happy to have found that. But she continues to check those pickups that are definitely in logic with her finding dash. Almost stomps into the lasers, gets through, gets a second energy cell. That is definitely nice, as Henry on the right just collected his fourth tree as the double jump tree.
And we've seen Henry already skipping pickups. He didn't touch the left side of Grotto. He went straight for the tree, taking only the pickups on the way there. There was a Sorrow TP in that will be very, very useful. But I wonder how happy he is with this skill set and how far he thinks he can go with it. That
Yeah,
he's already skipping things. We see him now also heading in the same direction as Graham. He'll be checking for the Sunstone too, and probably find it very quickly. I assume due to his actions so far, he might actually then stop checking these pickups that Graham just did. I know, he's going down and checking them.
Yeah, with the Sunstone in his acquisition, he will definitely be happy that it's not locked behind grenade. This area is supposed to be kind of the grenade tutorial for when you pick grenade up of where Graham is at the moment to get to use it. So a lot of puzzles and stuff around here is required to have grenade to get further. He's also checking this far off pickup. There's just some experience here, and we'll probably head to the grenade tree where Graham just skipped another very long and tedious cutscene. Gets a mapstone for her trouble, is now at 4 trees as well. Henry will soon get back his tree advantage, or tree vantage if you want to call it like that. Checks the pickups on the way, gets a mega energy for his trouble, and Graham on the left decided to use that mega energy she got in the same area to use to open that Death Gauntlet door that will give her access to Moon Grotto via a different way. There's a lot of ways to get around the map in Ori, so definitely a lot of divergence. Picks up this out of logic underwater pickup and is now heading into Grotto.
One thing to note as we see Graham pick up her third energy cell is exactly that, the energy. They have dash, and you can upgrade dash with ability points to charge dash, which lets you, by using one energy, do some fancy tricks. Either rocket jumping, so jumping close to an enemy, which will rocket Ori into the air, or just charge dashing generally to speed up the already very fast dash. But this costs, as I said, energy, and they're very low on that. And Henry actually scummed the one in lower Blackroot, so we'll see. He now also has the 3 that Graham has, although one of his must have come from a different source because he skipped the one down in lower Blackroot. So we'll see if that ever becomes a problem. With the skills they have so far, some areas are not very easy, especially Sorrow, and a charge dash can be very, very useful there. So maybe having energy might actually play an integral part there.
Yeah, both of our runners kind of giving a high five here as they are in basically the same area at the same time, although both of our runners have checked different things. Glitching this bridge to stay on top of it, just to check these 2 pickups here, the vanilla water vein being a mega health. So on the right, Henry does not have that much health cells at the moment. He just got a temporary boost. And there's charge dash efficiency on the left for Graham. That is definitely welcome. Very welcome, as you explained. Charge dash costs energy, and this pickup basically halves the energy cost, as Graham on the left demonstrates how that works. she's charging into these plants, gets another health cell, and is making a clear of the left side grotto that Henry is kind of trailing behind. Also making quick use of this double jump wall interaction that is not required from the runners, but of course checking these pickups whenever possible is just better than having to come back for them. So both of our runners will be using this as Henry alt art, and we will see whether he returns to Grotto.
Yeah, we haven't actually explained the double jump wall interaction. So double jump obviously does not let you interact with walls usually. However, we have found that if you jump into a wall and then kind of move away from it and back to the wall again, that will refresh the double jump. As you can see, no, he's finished. Yeah, you should be able to see it a little bit here. No. Yes, anyway, so you can use that quite a lot, and in quick succession. It's a bit of a dance for your fingers, and I know some people don't like to do it for more than a few minutes, but that will let you walls in a rather rudimentary way.
Yeah, we definitely have to point out that what Henry is doing right here is hard, and oh my god, he dies off the last wall. This is not an easy section to traverse, as it is it is the last skill tree you acquire in the vanilla tree, and you see that he gets a lot of experience from that, indicating that logic didn't expect you to be there quite as soon. And we could also see that the water vein is in sorrow, and with this skill set he's showing off what skills he has and which he doesn't. One skill specifically being glide would just make sorrow traversal that much more comfortable. Yeah, showing off again what trees he has remaining, and yeah, definitely going to check all the trees. Of course, you cannot check the bash tree, and there is grenade for him as well. He won't be able to check the bash tree just yet, just because he does not have the water vein to open the access to it. But grenade will definitely make him happy, as it is a way to break blue things without spending the energy for a charge dash. But other than that, there's just one pickup in Sorrow that is actually locked behind a grenade, so at least he does not have to worry about that now.
I think he still will be worrying about sorrow a little bit, because it's certainly not fun with these skills. It's possible. Most locations should be doable, yeah. But it's not the nicest thing that you want to do. So he's running around checking all the plants that are now in logic for him with that grenade pickup, and hopefully finding something that will make it easier as he makes his way towards the stomp tree.
And they find Rind Restored, especially if they find Henry on the right just got it. Especially if they find that glide, that will be a powerful and easy way to get into Sorrow. And if they decide to go from below, of course, they have both the teleporters, so they don't need to go via the lower way. But we also see a lot of map stones turning up. There could potentially be progression in map stones, as on the right, Henry finds wall jump. Now actually interacting with walls is in logic, and they have an intended way to do so. So definitely has a skill advantage, but Graham just behind him. Doing some other checks though, heading into the stomp tree area. We will see what you will find there. On the third mapstone, there wasn't anything significant, so thus far, no progression on the mapstones. But of course, a later mapstone could always hold something valuable for our runners.
Yeah, seeing Grem go to Stomp Tree immediately makes me think that she might actually be skipping the swamp loop that Henry just did completely, and thus maybe actually not getting her wall jump. This shouldn't be a problem for her, but it might be something to keep in mind sometimes, as Henry is hot on her heels trying to get to the Stomp Tree. Ooh, almost taking a death in the water. No, he's fine. Should be no problem getting over there. And Graham is actually going back, not alt-Ring this time. Probably wanting to check this grenade-locked pickup, which is just an ability cell, so nothing too useful.
Yeah,
seeing
of
as
course.
he already has the charge jump.
Yeah, of course, since they don't have clean water, they can't actually find anything in logic under the water, as Graham on the left picks up that very useful one experience. The randomizer usually only gives pickups 2 or more experience, but there's one pickup exactly that holds 1 experience, so that is always a nice find to see, as Henry and Graham are both heading into Sorrow, but in different directions, as Henry is taking the upper route basically to check some more pickups, because both of our runners actually know that the water vein is somewhere here. And I'm always interested in like a water vein being at the sandstone location, but we will see whether that is the case or not, as Henry is checking now into this area that we nickname Dorito Caves, just because these spikes kind of look tasty. And as Graham on the left picks up her 7th tree, we will see whether she continues, and yes, she does.
I think it's a very heads-up play. They know the Sunstone is here, and they need to find it at some point to complete the seed. So checking these pickups is certainly a good idea. I'm very intrigued to see how Graham is going to get through all these Doritos. She's key duping. She now has, is that a 14 keystones? Graham, I think you have enough. I don't know where you want to go with all of these, but please, use them somewhere.
Yeah, keystones are very valuable, as there are a few keystones that are keystone doors that are mandatory to open, as Henry is checking all these things. As mentioned before, Henry has a very low energy count. He's still only at 3, whereas Graham on the left is at 6 actually. So doing all these charge dashes is definitely harder for him, as he does not, as he cannot do as many as he wants to get around this area. And as you can see, everything just deals a lot of damage, and he finds the water vein. That could definitely be go mode here for him. He just needs to complete his trees and go to the final escape if he feels comfortable with the skill set that he has right now.
The escape is certainly doable. He has more than enough health, and he has enough skills to make it possible. I assume he's fine with it. Has only a few trees left, we'll see. Maybe he'll find something nice on the way that will make it even easier. A bash would be wonderful, then he won't have to even worry about health, although even he has 9 health, circling his 3 energy. That is probably still somewhat of a concern for him, but at least health-wise, he should be good to go.
I'm not actually sure about that. They don't have bash, so there are a few rooms that can be a trouble, and they don't have clean water either, so getting through that swim can be a problem, as they need to damage boost through it. I'm sure he's hoping to skill ultra defense to just get a bit less of damage from the water, because 9 health, it looks a lot, but it definitely can also be used up quickly. We will see how he performs that, but he's showing why that combination of Stomp together with Dash is just so good, as he is Stomp canceling, basically performing a Stomp after every charge dash to regain the energy he just spent, to just make the most of the 3 energy that he has, collecting that energy on the wall, as well as Graham on the left is doing more one-off pickups, gets the Grotto teleporter that she has definitely already gotten, and gets Charge Flame. That is definitely a good way to break walls in the final escape. We'll definitely be happy to find that, and we will see where she's deciding to go next, as Henry is making his way through Misty to collect his 9th tree, then only his bash tree is remaining. So this is definitely a fast seed. Just look at the time. This is definitely a zoom race here to see.
Certainly something both runners were hoping for, I think, as we see Henry zombieing through these spikes. And yeah, that's fine. He's almost at ultra defense. I think with the ultra defense, the escape really should be possible. I do wonder what Graham is looking for. I know she's perfectly capable of doing what Henry has done in Sorrow. Seems to be going that way herself now. Of course, doesn't know where the water vein is, so might be worried about that being in an unreachable location, but we'll be giving it a shot and we'll probably be very happy to find out where that is.
Yeah, on the right, Henry also got his 4th energy cell on the climb tree, is circling his keystone count. He is at 4 keystones, so he can get to the bash tree. We will see whether he decides to head further. As you said, the escape is definitely possible. So we will see whether our runners decide to check the upper half. I don't think so. He is even skipping that map zone turn in on there. He's at 4 out of 9, so definitely a healthy count for that. But there could still be progression at a higher map zone count, especially since they've gotten so many map zones. Yeah, he has now ultra defense, so everything deals just a bit of just less damage to him. That will especially be helpful in the final escape, as Ginso tree is a relatively early game pickup, and Graham on the left is checking the right side of Dorito Caves, an area we haven't seen from Henry, but of course we know that the water vein is not here. Graham now realizes that as well and heads down, so we will see how many pickups it will take her to find the water vein, as Henry is now heading into the first dungeon in the vanilla game, the Ginso tree, and will make his way up.
Yeah, this is definitely go mode for Henry. He has 1 tree left and then just needs to make his way to the escape. I'd also say it is currently his race to lose. This is quite an advantage. Graham still needs to do 3 trees to Henry's 1. And while those trees will be quite quick, I think Henry should have quite an advantage going into this.
Yeah, definitely. Graham on the left found her water vein, so now is collecting her feather quote-unquote tree, as Henry is solving this laser puzzle with a bit of shoving around this teleporter to get the lasers where he wants them. And Graham will surely make her way into Misty next, or maybe, yeah, to Misty or the bash tree. We will see. Refills her energy at the teleporter as... Was there a mini-boss? I don't think I saw a mini-boss. Yeah, it just disappeared. Thanks to all the powerful skills that Henry has. He is now heading to the 4 keystone door, just not have any keystones left, so definitely happy about that. Graham on the left will also have enough keystones to perform, to open that door. And we see that the Gumon seal actually was on the map zone. We will not know which one, so yeah, that was definitely not needed, this seed. We of course know that it is mapstone 5 or up, because everything under 5 has been checked, and mapstones are progressive in the game, just to make sure that people don't use the same mapstone they found at one place to check every mapstone altar in the game. And Henry now, I don't think he checked, he picked up the swamp teleporter, so has to take the grotto teleporter to get to the final escape. Yeah, definitely his race to lose, but if he has some trouble in the final escape, it could actually come down to execution in the final escape, but we will see how he manages to get through that final part of the game, as Graham is also traversing this Misty Woods area and collecting her 9th tree momentarily.
Yeah, she has a lot more energy than Henry has. So she flew through Misty even faster than he did with just the few charge dashes he had. And is hot on his tail, only needs 1 more tree. We'll be heading to Ginso. to get the bash tree and then following Enri's footsteps through Horu Fields to this door we're seeing here. How many tries do you think Enri will need for his door warp?
Oh, I'm hoping for violence. There's always
Oh.
the decision to make whether you want to go for a very precise trick door warp that we see Enri perform right now or try to perform. Doesn't get it first try. We will see whether he chooses violence eventually. Gets it second try, so he is off to run away from the angry bird that normally plays a big role in Ori and the Blind Forest, but we don't see Kuro very often besides that final escape. So good luck to him on his final escape. This is the last step to beat Graham in this race. Student beating the teacher, that would be a great story to tell. So just needs to perform a precise series of jumps throughout these rooms. We'll have to do some shenanigans here to get the Kuro spawn deactivated, and will make his way through the final escape as Graham is now heading into the Ginso tree.
Yeah, had the timing a little off there on the lava pillar that will kill you instantly, but should... Ooh, that might be a little less, too little health. He does not have flashing his upgrades, does not have any health regeneration, so I don't think this swim is possible. Nope, we'll need to make sure he takes a little less damage in this second go through. It should be possible. He made a slight mistake somewhere. But
Yeah. This is definitely not a trivial final escape because, well, in the base game you would have every single skill at this time. Does not quite get there and falls down as Graham on the left is now doing the laser puzzle using some charge dash redirects and is getting through it perfectly. Let's see if she has any mini boss or if it just disappears. Okay, there was no mini boss. So definitely right behind Enri's foot. If Enri takes some more tries, Graham definitely now has the time to catch up. Does get through it, has still 6 HP left with Ultra Defense. That is enough to get through the swim. So needs to be careful not to get sniped by any of the fish. These deal damage as well. He does not have Charge Flame compared to Graham. Gets around the Kuro trigger. Makes his way up the final wall, cannot perform a final grenade jump, and he's through. GG to Enri for winning this game. Wow, what a final escape.
very nicely done from him. That last charge jump with the double jumps around that little bump in the wall is not easy to do, but he pulled it off flawlessly on his first try getting over there, and will finish with a time of 35 something, I think, which is a very good time for a seed like this.
Yeah, definitely the quick seed both of our runners have hoped for. Enri just having a bit more luck with finding the fast skills, namely dash and namely dash actually first, so having that advantage. Also having the right direction in Sorrow Pass to check the pickup where Water Vein was, and not doing Dorito Caves as Purple Ketchup, aka Graham, demonstrated, as she is now heading into the final dungeon. We will see whether she chooses violence or whether she will go for a door warp, as on the right. Enri just has to hold right for a bit more with our with another love-worthy character that we don't get to see very often, Naru, just running through to save Ori, and his time will come up now. So 35-11.
Optimization, very nice. 35-11 is a very, very good time. The seed was very fast. They had a lot of very useful things very early and basically on the way to all their trees. So thank you, Seedgen, for this one, I guess. As Graham will be starting her final escape, getting screamed at by a big bird. And
And one important thing to notice is actually that Graham never actually found any kind of intended wall interaction, so we will see how that impacts her final escape. She does have the charge flame, which is another way to break the walls, so she does not have to use a charge dash for all the walls. Cannot get onto this wall, will have to retry. We will see how she goes through this final escape. Definitely not an easy one as well. Is making her way up this way so she can get onto this and basically has to wait for the pillar to despawn. Without that wall interaction, she cannot actually grab onto that wall and get up. So she definitely has to be careful about this and position just right. As now she's heading to the final escape yet again. Definitely wish her all the luck for this. This is not easy. Gets through. Now has to get through this elemental room with hopefully just one damage boost. No, Graham. Okay, I think she has. No, she does not have health regen either, and I'm not sure if this swim is possible. I believe you need 4.5 health to get through it. And
With a fish maybe dropping something? No, she
Oh.
makes it with half a health left. That was very nice. And now just has to wall jump all the way up here without actually having wall jump. Gets it. Beautiful. And will be done shortly after Henry with probably a time of a 38 minutes, which is still an amazing time. Just very slight routing convergence here that made Henry take just that little bit of a lead.
Yeah, definitely execution from Henry right here. So GG to him. We will see if either of our runner wants to have an interview. Of course, this is always up to the runners. And for the bracket stage, that actually means that Henry is going to face the winner of the match Tritonite versus Jamal. And the second place of this race, being Graham, will face Spect 98 in the lower bracket. I'm sure she will hope to finish to win that race, to stay in the brackets a bit longer, and let's see how Henry will continue. Yeah, both of our runners definitely put on a great show right here. That was definitely one of the fastest seeds we've seen this tournament. There were quite a few seeds that didn't have quite a as good as a logic as this one, where people had to search for a progression, whereas this just gave the runners everything they needed. Very nice to watch from both sides. And it looks like we have Henry in for an interview. We will see. We will just wait a bit longer to see whether Graham also decides to have an interview, like a quick talk with us or not. And yeah, definitely a nice race to watch.
Indeed. Graham's final time coming down to a 38:33, which is, like we said, still a very, very good time for any seed, and this one as well, especially without that wall interaction that Henry had. Yeah, while we wait to see if Graham will join us, the next seed we will be having at 1 p.m. EDT, so in a bit over an hour, will be Romulus versus Fluffy Prower, also on this channel, so stick around if you want to watch that.
Yeah, and we will pull in Henry right now to just ask him some questions. GG Henry for winning this race. How are you feeling after defeating your teacher in this race?
I can't believe that they win. I'm still shaking. It was like really fast. I don't know.
Yeah, that was definitely a fast seat. Did you have any expectations going into the seat, like what you wanted to find, and how did it play out the seat? Did you get just what you needed to be happy with that seat?
I was really comfortable with the skill set, and I was able to do everything. The problem would be if Water Vein would be in Sorrow more in deep, and I would have needed Glide or Bash.
Yeah, luckily that was not the case. Going back all the way to the start of the race, you decided with that charge jump early to not go into Blackroot Burrows, but instead clear Spirit Caverns, which of course gave you a lot of skills very early. Do you always decide to go that route, or was it just because of that amount of keystones that you got?
First of all, yeah, as you said, all the keystones I have were a kind of sign that I had to go there. But anyway, if I didn't have all that keystones, I would have gone to Burrows.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Also, Graham is now joining us as well for an interview. GG, Graham, finishing second in such a quick seat. Definitely a great show both of you put on here.
Oh, thank you. Parabéns, Henry, parabéns.
GG senpai.
Oh, please, shh. Nobody knows. Nobody. Shh. The student has surpassed the senpai. I think
Jeez.
basically my OCD kicked in. I went to search for points for ultra defense because I wasn't too comfortable in Zaro searching for the water vein. I think that's where you I senpai lost.
GG's anyway.
Yeah,
Did
it
you
was definitely a close race for the longest time. Graham, how comfortable did you feel? You mentioned that you didn't feel comfortable about your health points, but given the skills, how comfortable were you in the final escape, not having any wall interaction at all?
Oh, I'm fine with zero wall interaction. It's not a problem. It's something that I love to play because I do like the challenge. I think the only problem that I had mentally at that point of time was being in sorrow without ultra defense and having to search for water vein without glide or some form of air stall might be a bit tough because usually when you do get things like sorrow TP, a lot of times, most often or not, your dungeon key or something could be hiding on left sorrow in the four left sorrow keystones or the energy cell. So that was the only thing that came to my mind. So yeah, that was why I out of the blue I just decided to make up my mind by saying that I think I want to find enough points for ultra defense. This is either going to kill me or I'm just going to die tragically. So it was a coin toss.
Yeah,
So that
definitely.
basically cost me some time.
Well, there was definitely some routing difference, but both of you also had some great executions with the stomp cancels of the dashes. Um, yeah, Henry, going to you again. How comfortable were you in those stomp cancels? We saw you only had 4 energy by the end of the seed and were going around with 3 basically the entire time, so that definitely had to play a role, right?
Yeah, I'm really used to do stomp cancels because I've been learning on cells and I also run on skills. So I think the experience that I got from that categories is really good at this point when you have this kind of skill sets.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Graham, do you have any final thoughts on that seed, maybe?
I love the seat, honestly speaking. I love the challenge. I love the fact that, I knew that charge flame was the key to grenade. But I was kind of disappointed I didn't find climb because otherwise that would be like, the best seat ever. But you do what
Yeah,
you can.
I believe both of you were hoping for some grenade jumps. Unfortunately, we didn't quite get them.
Does anyone know where climb was?
We
Not
didn't
yet,
see it.
no.
No idea.
We didn't see it, so unfortunately,
I
no idea here.
go. Where are you?
Yeah.
I go. Give us spoilers.
I found the wall jump, but I don't remember where was it.
Oh, you
It
got
was
wall
in
jump?
Swamp Loop. It was an
Yeah.
outer Swamp Loop.
Oh, there.
I see, I see. Nicely done on wall interaction. If I had bash, whoo, you did, dude. FYI, I still haven't forgiven Henri because he crossed over to the dark side. He was the controller player, and then he betrayed us. He betrayed the controller camp. People, he
I'm a
betrayed us all.
traitor.
Yeah, you went to the dark side. You went KBM side. So I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Well, then we'll do the talking for you. Henry,
Yes,
with
please.
this win, you will be facing either Trito or Jamal, depending on how their match, I think on Friday, goes. How are you feeling about that? And who do you think you will be facing?
More scared than this one.
What? What? You're saying that I'm not scary. Trito is scarier. Ah, so that's how it is. Yeah, okay. Sure.
I
Sure.
just want to hole in for a second. We're getting info from Aiko that Climb was on Mapstone 8, so there
No
definitely
way.
was something on Mapstones.
Rip. Goodbye,
Oh
Jesus.
dear, oh dear. Okay, and same question to you, Graham. You will be facing Specht 98 in the lower bracket. How are you feeling about that? I know you're wanting to go very far in this tournament. Falling down to lower bracket will make that a little bit harder now.
Right now, arthritis suddenly sets in, and I'm thinking maybe pressing button was not a good theme after all. I will do my best, and we'll see how it goes. That's all I can do. Basically, give it my all, and if I make it, I make it. If not, there's always next tournament. Oh yeah.
That sounds like a very good mindset.
Yeah,
The
and
whole
with that,
idea is to have fun. It's to enjoy the game, to spread the love of Ori Randomizer, and hope that people enjoy it, and hope that we get more newcomers and more people in the community, and spread the Ori Rando love. Am I right? Am I right?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
definitely. You definitely want to have more students facing off against you, it sounds like.
What's that? Going through a tunnel, can't hear you. What?
Yeah, I
Thank you for
believe that
having us.
that closes up this match for now. As mentioned before, we will see you in just about an hour with our next race, Romulus versus Fluffy Prowler. And yeah, thanks to you too for joining this interview. Thanks for putting on a great show. Thanks to Tritonite and Poogle for tracking for us. Thanks for Jamel for the restream. And thanks Apple for that lovely commentary. We will see you all later.